What is up, guys? Welcome to round number 2 of the Knockhill International Circuit here in Scotland today. 9 turns, 1.29 miles around this lovely circuit, and there is hints of rain in the forecast along the way, so obviously qualifying and race day might just be a little bit more interesting with that standing water on the track. I know it's just a small circuit, but obviously let's get straight into the qualifying.
We need you to get some heat to these tyres on the outlap and start pushing.
As always, heading down the start-finish straight. We're only in P12, so we've got a lot of time to make up as usual, but look at that track, it is so sodding wet and there is standing water everywhere. Now heading down through the set curves, round the Scotsman, and then up through Butchers, and then coming up to the chicane where there is just going to be some standing water right there, literally. As you go through that on the proper racing line, as you see, we've just got told to slow down that a little bit much as we've just apparently cut the corner, but taking the line as normal as we normally would, but not too much slowing down to do. Now coming along the back straight on through Hislops, then coming up to the hairpin that we've got a heavy braking zone for, and the track, or the speed out of this corner, even in second gear, is so goddamn slow, as you're about to see. It's just literally, if you can't go in first because otherwise you'll spin it out, but second gear, it's just you're 30 miles an hour. It feels so slow in the cockpit. You're just waiting and waiting. And obviously we're coming down the start finish straight now. What can we do? Can we finish up any higher than P12? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? No, it is a massive improvement, obviously, from our previous lap time, but yeah, nothing much to go off there. So we're going to start from the back of the grid now. 1 minute 9.2. So yeah, there is a little bit of time between me and 11th, but obviously we'll have to see how we do in the race. There's a lot of British drivers and a lot of foreign ones as well. Hopefully we'll have to see how all 12 drivers do today in the race. And here we go, 5 red lights are out and away we go. Another decent start for ourselves, getting off that line just a little bit quicker. I'd like to know why these drivers don't get off the line as quick as we do. I think that our reaction times are so much quicker, but we're just going to drive down and overtake 2 drivers and hopefully try to look around the outside of car number 40 as he gets a bit too much curb, and we'll take that place very nicely. We're going to try to take another look down number 57 as we think better of it, as you know, we were going to get squished out there and pushed onto the curb and onto the grass, and obviously we've gone straight to the back of the grid once again, and we don't really want to visit the back of the grid ever again. You know, qualifying yesterday wasn't the best, only managing P12 out of the 12 drivers. We were never the greatest, but it looks like a couple of drivers got held up there. I think number 57 got held up by the the black and red Janetta Jr. of car number 37, as we look to overtake him as well, just because we have the massive overspeed from that corner exit going up the hill. As he's still actually there, so we're gonna have to leave him a little bit of room. You know, we've left it there. Quite frankly, there's some good racing between the AI and myself. Is that you just see that red arrow just dip a little bit further away, and that's just going to disappear very nicely. And there we go, the position is ours. There we go, advancing on a little bit further into the race, shall we say. As we're catching P6 here, we're going to have a look down the inside of number 58, but I think a little bit better of it. No, we're going to go for number 58 just turns straight into us. I think that is what the aggressivity meter does. Obviously I've increased that and increased the I've increased the AI's capacity to make a good setup, so that is what theoretically the increase does in the difficulty. It just makes the AI set their cars up better to the track that we're driving on. But the aggressiveness, obviously, it just shows how much they defend, and you know, there was space there for them to turn into, but you know, we had our whole nose in front, so there was literally always going to drive in front of us and drive and hit into us. But yeah, any corner to overtake on, definitely not this one. If you're going to try and go down the inside, you're always going to get pushed out wide like I did there, just a little bit, but we're still going to stay within the limits of the penalty system, so we actually get a little bit better of a run as we're going down the inside of car number 10 in towards the hairpin. I think, look at this, everyone's so slow, literally doing 28 miles an hour going up to 30. It's just so slow, but you know, it's really good, really fun racing at the minute. Coming from the back of the grid, we're currently P5, so we've done, was that 6 overtakes in 4 minutes. Yeah, there is really no real good places to overtake. This corner is definitely not one of them. I'm not sure why I tried to overtake. You know, if you get the overspeed on the cars, you can overtake them into this corner, and then pretty much the hairpin and the 2 straights are the only options you've got. So you've got the 4 options. As you can kind of see that wet puddle on the wet line is literally right there. If you drive over it, you will spin or just lose control of the car because you're aquaplane, and it will just throw you off. So you've got to be very careful coming out of that chicane. The line you should normally take will be the line you don't want to take as the rain comes down even more. I think the rain is actually apparently going to stop at some point, maybe towards the end of the race, but you know, the track's going to be so wet it's not actually going to matter, if I'm honest. And there we go, we run over the wet line, or wet puddle should we say, wet puddle, puddle's always wet, but yeah, we run over the puddle and we lose a lot of time as that car, or P5 just behind us, has a little bit of a testing moment and puts us under a little bit of pressure as we run wide ES again. I'm sure the stewards will probably say after the race, for the next race, they probably said, yeah, we probably should give a slowdown penalty just for running that wide, but you know, they don't, so it's all good for the race today. Also, we're catching the podium position of P3 here. Obviously, you know, as I say, we're gonna look down the outside once again. If anything, you want to look down the inside, because then you'll hit the curb and you'll be fine. As you see that red and white Junior gets straight up against that curb, and if you're side by side, yeah, they're always going to push you out because they've got no sense of, I say no sense of sportsmanship, but hey ho, it's good fun racing here. Oh, look at that, P1 and P2 going side by side, and as we try to take a different line to avoid that puddle on the inside right hand corner there, we do lose a lot of time, and I think P5 is going to come up the inside and overtake us, and we're going to go back down to P5 unfortunately as we cut on a little bit further on. 7 minutes left to go, half the race has now happened, and look at that, he's a little, car number 10 is a little bit slow at that corner. We're just going to get the run, and you see that, the quick drop in speed, and that was them changing gear. I think they probably changed it from 2nd to 3rd as we managed to come on to the back straight once again. Obviously going to get this overtake done for the podium place, and yeah, back up into, well, I say back up into P3, we know, up into P3 again. We've got past P4 as 1st and 2nd are looking to go side by side through the hairpin. It shows you how well you can do it and how much space you can give. Obviously we're going to stick behind P1 now. I can't remember which car he is, but I'm going to stick behind him, get the slipstream. As you can see, there's no more rain coming down, so it's literally the time to try and get a dry line going and, you know, keep that going. But no, obviously getting past P3 there. Now we're looking to get past P1 for the win from the back of the grid. Also, we'll have to see how well we can do. I was going to look very far back, but you can see that massive puddle stretching across if you go too far to the right hand side. But you know, we take the line as normal. Well, I say as normal, you know, trying to do a dive bomb, but we are trying to get the run on car number 55, going down the inside into the first corner. Obviously looking to see what we can do. Obviously he's going to probably back out. No, he's going to keep it in there. We run wow, I say there's probably some contact there between the two of us as we look to overcorrect ourselves. And you know, we ran into, well, we go over a puddle and the grip just wasn't there for us at all. And yeah, we're back down into P6. Was very, very unfortunate for ourselves. And yeah, right, damage limitation now, because we were looking for the win. And what can we do now from P6 with basically this lap? This is the final lap, so we have got to make well, we've got to make some overtakes, as you know, we want to get some more points to make it even more damage levitation, just to get the championship wrapped up. I think at this point we should deserve some points, but we hit the clip, the puddle, and the car just gets that a little bit squirrely, and yeah, we lose a little bit of time. So it's literally coming down to this hairpin and this back straight. How many overtakes can we do? Obviously get the overspeed on car number 21. Yeah, we're going around the outside of him. Obviously now we've got 5th place. Can we get 4th going into the hairpin? It's going to be a massive dive bomb, and it is a massive dive bomb. I think realistically we probably should have given that back, because you know, I don't know if we were going to make the corner. I mean, we did make the corner. We just went a little bit deeper than expected, but unfortunately getting the run on number 38 number the car, and yeah, only managed P4, getting the 23 points from that round. We are still sitting pretty in P1 of the Drivers' Championship with 60 points. Car number Alan Pugh is 47 points, so it's about 13 points behind us, and we've dropped down in the team drivers standings as well, 84 points to Barlow Racing's 87 points. But yeah, that's going to be all for Knockhill International round number 2. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. Bye bye.